handle the truth. Truth.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Truth, the New Minority with Lou and Don.
What's up,
I'm
y'all?
Don. That's Lou.
What's up, y'all? What's going on?
Man. So we had a little conversation, and I wanted to talk to y'all about it. Talking about police shootings and how people see things, how things are perceived, and then what it actually is. Take my glasses off.
I'm gonna say this. I saw a lot of people saying an eye for an eye mantra. You know, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. We've all seen it. And trust me, some police have done nothing to instill trust in the public. I'm not saying every police out there doing it right, but I will say this: if we got a bunch of police all over this world, I'm gonna say it's only 1% of these dudes out here just doing great. That's with corrections. That's with Baltimore County, Baltimore City. It's 1%, but the 1% make the rest of us look bad.
Yeah, and that's true. So because majority of police officers give them respect, you get respect. I rock with a lot of them, and I don't have a problem with police because guess what? If something is happening at my house, what I'm gonna call it, the neighborhood thug, I need to call the police. So you got to have some type of trust in police officers.
And I have empathy for those that have negative interactions with the police. Don't get me wrong. I get it because, you know, whether you got it on a car stop, whether you walk through your neighborhood or what have you, your first contact sets the tone, sets the mood.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, you know, you give somebody a ticket, first of all, they pissed off because you pulled them over.
Yeah.
We know that. And, you know, I tell everybody, a conversation can be had, and maybe you might not get that ticket. But when you tell a police officer, and this is the worst line you could ever say to it, you don't have anything better to do. That's a trigger.
I'm sure it is.
And is it right? Yes, because our peace is not supposed to be disturbed. But understand, if you broke law, and most people know they broke law. You know, if I'm speeding and them boys pull me over, and I got a young son, so I have to have this conversation with him too. Two of them. They pull me over, man. I don't want no static. We'll have my officer, boo, here go my license, registration, bang. You know what I'm saying? What else? Boo, boo, boo. All right, you gonna write me the ticket? Cool, bet. But what I'm not gonna do is impose any stress on that. I want him to be as comfortable as humanly possible because it is what it is. I got my windows down. I want him to be calm. I want to keep the situation because any problem I got, I can handle after he gives me the ticket.
First of all, I tell people all the time, trying to fight a police officer in the street is a losing battle. Because everything that you do, you're escalating the situation, and now you're creating charges where charges weren't at before. I remember I got pulled over one night. It was a dark road. And I think I was speeding. Cop pulled me over. When he got up to the car, all my windows was down, interior light was turned on. Let's bring some calmness. I knew I had my windows is tinted. He can't see what's in the back of that car. He don't know what's going on, and he's on high alert because he want to go home at the end of the night too. Roll all the windows down, turn the interior light on so you can see inside the car. Kept my hands where you can see him. He told me what he felt like I did wrong. I was like, you know what? I wasn't even looking at the speedometer, so it's a good possibility. This is my license, my registration. Wait for him to come back. And he came back, no ticket. He was like, yo, hey, take a warning. He's like, yo, slow down because the deers are running across the road. You might end up hitting one of them, so just slow down. No ticket. We was both cool. When he asked me for my license, I told him, I said, my license is in my back pocket. Is it okay if I reach for it? He said, yeah. He said, you don't have no weapons in your car, do you? I said, no, I don't. Reached in my pocket, got my license, gave it to him. Cool interaction. I skated. And I was doing 64 and a 55.
You was wrong.
You know what I'm saying? I was wrong.
Dead ass.
But I didn't give him a hard time. It was all smooth. He want to go home. I'm trying to get home.
That's it.
Let's both accomplish this thing.
Let's say this. Let me drop it in there. That's real spill. And my man Ern's turn. Real spill. Riding around in a car, and y'all think tent should be legal, whatever. Tinted from front to back. The windshield's tinted.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm gonna put it out there. Me as a prior law enforcement, man, you got the hair standing up on the back of my neck. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because if that window was limo in the back, man, you can have a shotgun aimed at me,
Right.
and I not know it.
Yeah.
I walk up on the side. Them joints look like midnight. First of all, I'm not coming up on the side. Then y'all gonna get mad with me. You know why y'all gonna get mad with me? Yo, let me get some more units car tinted all the way out. I don't know who's in the car. And I don't know how many in the car. Now y'all, you know why y'all mad now? Because I pulled you over like Baltimore County do everybody.
Yeah. At that point, the situation is already escalated because
I got 8 police there.
Mm-hmm.
And we all around your car. Why? Because can't nobody see you in the car. Can't nobody see head movement. Can't nobody see you move around. Can't nobody tell if you're male or female. I'm not against tint. Don't get it wrong. But that freaking windshield kills the rest of the car. When you don't put tint on the windshield, the light
shines in from the front. But when you have tint on the windshield,
you kill the whole car.
It's dark inside that car. That car is jet black, and can't nobody see what's going on in there.
So guess what? That same token, I'm going home that night. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to. If you happen to get the felony stop, when we tell you get on a bullhorn, tell you step out the car backwards and get on the ground. Oh, don't be mad with us. Be mad with yourself because you put yourself in that situation. Because if you was normal, had some normal tint, it probably wouldn't have went that way. And now you out there, and we might have just stopped you for. It probably was the tint on the windshield, but you probably did something else prior back there because I'm not a big traffic dude. I'm not a big traffic dude, so you had to do something to make me look at you a little different. You know what I'm saying? I understand police do a lot of legal shit. Don't get me wrong. And I know good dudes and bad dudes, but let's be clear. Help yourself out. Help yourself. Like my son. I ain't tell you about this. So my son, 17 years old. Some issues went down. He wanted to wild out the police. Me and him had to have a conversation. I said, dude, check this out. Respect is earned. I said, you respect me, would you to wild me out like that? No, but I'm saying, though, he was a white boy with a skinhead. Yo, if he had a buzz cut, so what? That don't make him KKK. That make him a white boy with a ball.
Right. That's it. Like,
that's it. I'm not hung up on color because I know too many people in various colors. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't say every white person is fucked up. I don't say that ain't never been me, but you got people like here I don't fuck with. I say, guess what? And I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna lead this part right here. More white people fall for civil rights than black people. So that's all I'm gonna say to you. That's all I'm gonna say. That's it, and that's all. So
you really have
in the grand scheme of things, and everybody is doing what they do, you feel me? Life has to we have to evolve. And we're gonna lead a segue into something that everybody is talking about that's real spill right now on the fresh in everybody's mind. Go ahead, Don.
So, like the situation with this dude who ran over the deputy sheriff because say a cop shot his son. So when I first heard it, right? I said, "Oh, I was thinking the same thing. Eye for an eye. Like you shot my son, I rolled you over. Okay, fine." But then my wife was like, "No, it couldn't be the same cop because he's gonna be on desk duty. He ain't gonna be in the street." And I was like, "Okay, you're right." So then when I started reading into it, it wasn't even the same department. He ran over a sheriff's deputy, and it was a police officer who shot his son. Now, as far as digging into exactly what happened, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? What caused his son to get shot? Some people may say like, or some people said, oh, you know what I'm saying, so his son had a gun or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Can I stop you right there?
Yeah.
All right. I've always told people this. Being an investigator, you have to be an investigator. If you're going to go out here and protest something, do the research. I don't know the full story, but I always say this, and this is one thing you always hear me say. What happened at the beginning?
Yeah. How did it all start off?
So it's either the car was stolen or the tags were janky.
Okay.
Do you have choices?
Yeah.
At that point, when the police get behind you, what are your choices?
Still pull over. And if the car's stolen,
We already know they're going to get loose. But if the tags is janky, we're going to get a bunch of tickets.
right, that's about it.
And I said, y'all might get mad at me about this, but I always look at what facilitated this incident.
Right. What started the whole thing off?
Like when you worked in corrections, you had to go back and figure out what kicked it off.
Yeah. What caused the commotion? What caused
Everybody
the
want to take this much of a video and
Mhm.
form an opinion. That's bullshit. You should be going back to the totality, just like your kids. When your kids come in the house, oh, I hear what you're saying, but what happened at the beginning?
Right.
Check this out.
Right.
There's a beginning to everything that you do. So you go in there and you say, all right, dude, all right, bet. He ran, he had a stolen car. Here's how many questions. Did he have a license? Was he supposed to have a car? Was it stolen? These are the questions we can't answer. We're not making the form. But what we're saying is, what happened in the beginning? If the police, hold on, let me bring it out, store that. If you just stop, which we know, and facilitate whatever you got to facilitate, the officer, they'll go ahead and stolen. You know, I ain't gonna run or whatever. The tags, you get out, you get locked up. Guess what? His son's here. The officer that this dude hit and ran over is still here, and it is what it is. Everybody's copacetic. But when you make decisions, bad decisions bite you in the ass. You come back, you down. The officers I'm gonna explain to y'all what a shoot, don't shoot scenario is. I think all the police agencies in all over the country go through a shoot, don't shoot. So I'm gonna tell you what a shoot, don't shoot is. Either you have a computer screen or you go out to the range and you're putting scenarios. They may say, dude has a shotgun. What's your response?
Okay.
Of course, you know proper protocol. Knife, what's your response? If the knife is way back yonder, it's all about voice commands.
Right.
But if you close, because 25 feet or less,
yeah, 25, yeah.
You're done.
And a lot of people don't know that. 25 feet.
But a dude with a knife, if you don't take him down, he can get you.
Yeah.
That's closing distance. Closing distance. If you don't know what that is. And you put in a scenario where they don't have a gun. And you're like, you got to shoot, don't shoot. And the target turns, and you got to make a decision. No gun. Keep moving. Or they drop the gun. You say, free, drop the gun. Shoot, don't shoot.
Oh, so it's like that.
It's like that. Like it's computer. It's some of the best shit out here that, you know, like some citizens went through it not a few years ago because people thought police should be trained a certain way in the thought process of when to shoot a person, right? I don't think, this is just my opinion, because I can't say nothing about mine, but I don't think there's anyone out here that actually wants to shoot and kill a person. Because most don't. Because guess what? If you ended up shot instead, because they treat the police, y'all think we go through, it's easy, like Miami Vice, we go ahead and we go file our paperwork and we go home. Dude, that's far from over. You got to get justified. You got to go through mental health. You got to go through stress. They got to make sure all the you just, at that point, you shoot a dude, you're a criminal.
Until they prove it otherwise.
You're a criminal.
People don't realize.
You don't realize. In corrections, if somebody died in custody death, you're a criminal.
Yeah, it's on me until I prove otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a criminal in the street where you're innocent until proven guilty. No, you're guilty until proven innocent as a police officer. A lot of people don't know that.
People don't understand that. I mean, the stress level that goes with that. I mean, listen. And most of the time, I'm gonna say this, man. You running from, and I'm glad they release videos now when officers shoot people, and when they sold it, and if people get on TV, oh, my baby ain't had his gun, and you see him pointing an AK-47 at the officer,
Right.
and he does his job. It ain't about wanting to kill him; it's about him staying alive. You know what I'm saying? Man, y'all forget all that MacGyver shit. No agency in the world or in the country is taught to wing the motherfucker head and the leg.
No, it's cinemax. Everything is
everything
cinemax.
is that. That's where your vital organs are. That's where you want to, and
It's the biggest target on the human body.
Right.
Is cinemax.
Right.
They don't want to kill, but they're also trained to go home at the end of the night.
Yeah.
They don't want to die.
No, nobody wants to die. We don't. I'm gonna say myself, the ones I know that I work with, nobody wanted to go out there and kill somebody because at the end, man, that's a hassle. You know what I'm saying? It's a hassle.
Now, there are situations, like he said, 1%. There are situations where the cop overreacted. Cop grabbed the wrong side on him, meant to grab the taser, grabbed his gun. That's training, that's high stress situations. That's somebody who's their first thought is grab the firearm. Most police officers that I've ever interacted with, now there's been others, but most, I've never given them a reason to grab that sidearm. They've never grabbed that sidearm.
And then you got somebody, listen, everybody, and I'm going to tell you like this, real spill. Everybody's not meant to be a police officer.
Right.
Everybody doesn't have the mental fortitude. This is what I said, mental fortitude. If you get pissed off easily, you can't do this job because they're going to test you at every level. You know what I'm saying? It's like, once you become who you are, you realize that people are going to be people irregardless of where you're at, what state, what podunk town you're in. You have to maintain a level of professionalism. Your professionalism goes a long way. If they see they can't rattle you, they gonna be like, this dude ain't fine. Like, and most of the time, the one they can't rattle is the one the criminal is going to gravitate to because he's going to feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way it is. Man, look, you giving these dudes a hard time ain't doing that because you're going to jail. It doesn't matter. You wild out here, you're going to jail. And then if you wild out and start acting crazy, spitting on people, you going to the hospital first. I was like, because they're not going to pay, because now you got to get your spit tested. Now you're going through some rigmarole. Just go ahead to the fucking jail. You know what I'm saying? Just go to jail, dude. It makes it out easy. You get in, you get your lawyer. The sooner you get in, and whatever you did, the sooner you get out. But everybody doesn't see the mindset. They don't have the mindset to deal with everyday people. And you should have some type of rapport. When I work, I walk the street. I come out the hole. I come up the alley. I come stand on the corner. I talk to everybody. But if you never reach out there and start talking to people, the best police I knew the community, knew their criminals, knew their stores, knew who was what, could call them by name. That's community policing. And that's what we haven't done. And that's what creates.
So I heard something, and correct this information if you feel like it's right or wrong. This is probably an opinion base, but I've heard that the patrol car, having the patrol cars, what separated police officers from the community, and that's what caused a lot of the distrust. That's what caused a lot of the problems. Because when cops used to walk the beat, they knew who everybody was in the neighborhood. Like, they walked around, they spoke to people.
I'm going to use that as an opinion, right? Because good patrol officers, whether you're a beat officer or you're in a motorized officer, you will park your car. Get out, walk your car. Like, my car may be parked over at, let's say, Lafayette and Bedlow.
Okay.
My car's parked there. But I'm down here on the run. Because I'm walking around. Because guess what? I'm going to tell the dispatcher, though, I'm out on foot. I'm going to be between these blocks and these blocks, walking around, doing what I'm doing. So there's no excuse for the officer not to get his ass out the car, unasked the vehicle. Okay. You see what I'm saying? And, the thing about it, like, these YNs and them dudes that hang up on yonder, right? If you got to, and I understand it's hard to get through because I think a lot of these YNs, they need some love. They need love. They never been loved. They never been shown love. And you can see it because when you got love in your life, you can see past tomorrow. You feel what I'm saying? But when you ain't got no love, you can't see past the next minute.
Nah, it's minutes, but minute by minute.
Well, second by second. I think they so wound up out here. They so frustrated.
Yeah.
They so angry. And I said, it ain't but a whole lot. There ain't a lot of things that scare me, but them dudes, they scare me. Because they time bomb.
They put you on high alert. And
They time bomb. They like little chicken time bomb. They like little chicken time bomb.
And this like there's some police officers, like I said, I've dealt with some that's been kind of on the asshole side. I got pulled over one day. I think I was going to work. And I think my tags might have been expired or something like that. Got pulled over. No, I didn't have my seatbelt on.
Okay.
Got pulled over. He wrote me a ticket or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I had enough time before I had to be to work. I wasn't stressed. I wasn't pressed. And after the stop, you know, he gave me a ticket or whatever, and I was like, all right, officer, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You have a great day. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. I got a ticket. Fine. You know what I'm saying? I paid for the ticket. No fucking big deal. And I reached my hand out. He's like, oh, I can't shake your hand. I said, what? He said, because of public perception. What?
Black, white?
White dude. I said, wait, so public perception is you can't shake my hand.
I might not have shook your hand because I don't know where everybody's hand was, but I did.
Yeah.
I did that, but
if he did that, I'd been cool.
Dabbing up somebody.
I was like,
it keeps shit right here.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't give you a hard time. You gave me a ticket for I didn't have on a seatbelt. Fine. I was in the wrong. And I was like, all right, yo, you have a great day then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you enjoy the rest of your shit.
Well, that's a part of and that's why I see why people are mad. Because police being personable is what you're supposed to be first. You know, you're not a state trooper. They come up, tell you their name and blah, 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 and they run it down to you. They some of the most rigid dudes you ever gonna run across. But then between them and the toll officers, you know, just go, you know, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? They're told to act like they're in general. I mean, in the military at all time. You know what I'm saying? We walk up to the car, be like, yeah, officer such and such, boo, boo, boo. This what you did, I need your license registration. But the first thing your mom people want to do out the car, I didn't do that shit. So yo, you got a court date, bro.
Right. Why argue something that you can't change?
Well, you're not gonna argue.
You're not gonna change his
and
opinion.
You everything but a child of God.
You can't. You're not gonna change the officer's opinion. So why argue? You know what I'm saying? Why argue something that's not gonna change right then and there? Right in the ticket. So.
I remember.
You feel like that's what I did? I had this one. This was when I was in Kentucky. I'm driving. Cop pulling out the gas station parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
She pulls me over. Gonna talk about I was speeding.
Mm-hmm.
I said I wasn't speeding. She said, no, you were speeding. I said, what did you clock me at? So I didn't clock you at anything. I could see that you were speeding. I said, whoa. So of course, you know what I'm saying, a female officer, it was me and my homeboy in the car, so she called me back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Rightfully so. Female out there too, you know what I'm saying, two black dudes. All right, you know, protect yourself, shorty. She want to give me sobriety tests and everything. So I'm looking at the other cop, and the other cop knew she was wrong. First of all, what she didn't know was I was prior law enforcement. So the other cop knew she was wrong because I'm like, you can't visibly see that I was speeding. You can say that it looked like I might be going faster than the speed limit, but you cannot say I was speeding.
Looking at somebody speeding is not a definition of speeding.
I said to her, so she wanted to give me the whole sobriety test. I said, yo, I'm gonna tell you straight up, like, yo, my balance is off, so you can just go ahead and give me the breathalyzer. We can get past all this because I ain't been drinking.
Yo, most sober people with 2 good legs can't pass that.
Right. I'm like, yo, just give me the breathalyzer and let's get past this. So the other cop is looking at him. I'm trying to talk to him. And he's like, yo, just speak to the officer because he don't want to take away her authority.
But that's not it. Wrong. And that's
wrong
what people
wrong.
There's no authority when you're wrong. You understand that, right? There's no authority when you're wrong. That's why they jamming up police now for not holding the other officers accountable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hold up. Did you say you saw him speeding? Come here, let me ask you. Because this was about to happen. Because guess what? At the end of the day, I'm here to testify in your internal affairs week.
Yeah, because let's say she could write me a ticket. What's she gonna put down on the ticket to how fast I was
have
going?
never seen nobody eyeball speed.
Well, how fast she gonna
You
say I
either
was
got
going?
LiDAR or you paste them in your car.
And what a lot of people
And it
don't
better
know,
be calibrated.
you can actually ask to see the speed gun. That is within your rights.
So the thing is,
But are you gonna be able to change anything on that traffic stop? Probably not. They still gonna say what they're gonna say. They still gonna do what they're gonna do.
go to court, let the
Go to
judge
court,
figure it out.
let that judge. First of all,
Ain't no
the
need
judge
to-
is pissed off because they gotta hear that case.
Yeah.
That costs the county or that costs the city money. The judge don't want to sit there to hear these damn cases. But that's where you argue your point. Your Honor, she didn't have on a radar gun. She had nothing to calculate how fast I was going. She said she saw that I was speeding because everything she say to you, she got to put down on that report.
Yeah.
This is before body cam,
on the
but
back
the
of the
dash
ticket.
cam was still on.
It goes on the back of the ticket. Everything they do goes on the back of the ticket.
How
So
did
that
she
body-
get? And guess what?
Dude.
I left no ticket. You know why? Because she couldn't put on the damn ticket how fast I was going.
So that sounded like to me, it was all bullshit. That was straight bullshit. But I'm gonna tell you now, I said I feel you because I'm going down to Myrtle Beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through Sumter, South Carolina. I had an 86 Acura Tech. I literally pulled off the gas station lot, like drifting. Because you know how when you get in the traffic, whoop, whoop, you were speeding. Whoa. So speeding. But then my survival mode kicked in. I ain't got nothing. Like, yo, where you got it? He said, the bullets are right there, the gun's in the back. Here's my license registration, here's my ID. Yeah, I said, you know what? Because I tell people, sometimes you just gotta shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because first of all, if you motherfucker told me I was speeding when I drove on, this some bullshit and this left.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I look at it like being in Hazard County.
Right.
You know, like, I went down there. He said, "Sir, whatever you said I was doing, I was fucking doing. Can I get my ticket?" You know, because what I'm not gonna do is debate with this dude in some podunk town
Right.
that I never get seen again. You got to be smart about how you interact. Smart.
So there was this lady who got pulled over, and there was a huge debate behind this.
Mm-hmm.
So cop comes up to the window. First thing cop says, "Do you know how fast she was going?" She ain't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He said it to her again. "You know how fast she was going?" She handed her license and registration.
Mm-hmm.
He said it again. "Do you know how fast she was going?"
That's a rhetorical question.
"Take my license and registration." You do not have to answer that question.
Right.
Your right to remain silent doesn't start when you get arrested.
It starts
You have the
immediately.
right to shut the fuck up at the door.
Don't self-incriminate yourself.
Yeah. The more you talk, the more you're incriminating yourself.
Right.
No. Whatever you about to write on that ticket, that's how fast I was going.
I'll take it. I'll see you in court.
I'll see you in court.
I said my personal experience, the worst state to speed in is Virginia.
Yeah, Virginia pop shit.
Virginia don't give a good goddamn. And guess what? In Virginia, ain't no you going back down there to court. That's you just gonna pay the fine.
Yeah.
Other than that, you go to jail to Virginia to catch you speed. You be driving back to Virginia, go do Saturday and Sunday in prison.
I think double digits. I think in Virginia is automatically reckless driving.
Well, we know what reckless driving look like.
Yeah, but
Yo, you doing?
I think if you're going 10 over, if you're going more than 10 over, it's considered reckless.
I'm
driving.
gonna say something crazy, and I know a lot of states will do. Most police ain't messing with you for 10 miles over.
No.
Now, when you jumping up 15, 20, they coming for that ass. And you're going to earn that. You're going to earn that lump. Because now you enter the realm of reckless driving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You in the fast lane, you flowing. And I say that, brother. I said, what do you think about slow drivers driving the fast lane?
It's annoying. It's fucking annoying.
I ain't even mad that you in the fast lane. Here's my thing I've always said. Keep up with the flow of traffic.
Right.
Because when you keep up with the flow of traffic, nobody gets a ticket. Because if it's 7 cars doing 70, there's 7 cars doing 70. It's the flow of traffic. There's no recklessness going on. All y'all just cruising right along. But when you got that dude that want to get in the 70 and do 50, you done irritated a lot of people.
Somebody had a bumper sticker on the back of the car, which made me chuckle, but because I understood. It said, if I got to pass you on the right, you're an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If I got to pass you on the right,
Think about that.
you're an asshole.
Remember, in Virginia, there's a such thing as MP. And until I saw my man come back, we was coming back from what's the creek? Deep Creek.
Deep Creek.
He was driving an Altima. Him and his son, the young son, they cruising in the fast lane. Man, they pulled that nigga and gave him a fucking MP ticket.
MP
I said, yo, he had the screenshot. I had never seen one.
if you're if you're on a 2-lane highway, that left lane
keep it moving.
is just to pass.
Mm-hmm.
Once you pass the car and you're not going faster than the next car in front of you, you get back over, you leave that lane clear. That lane is just for passing.
And down south is real on that.
Yeah,
It's these motherfuckers up.
that's where I learned it. I learned it down south.
Yeah. Once you get to the past Maryland,
Yeah.
but up here, yo, you have a motherfucker. I don't know who told y'all motherfuckers in Priuses. Y'all been watching Mark Wahlberg and them motherfucking commercials.
Yeah.
They not fast. You gonna get in the fast lane with a Prius, man. If you don't get the fuck out the way, and I don't want you to speed. I want you to keep over the flow of traffic.
Right. You have to be speeding. But if you're in that left lane and there's a car that's going faster, than maybe he is speeding. He's just trying to get around so he can pass. He pass, he get back over. You keep that lane clear. That left lane is supposed to be cleared unless you pass in car.
Maryland, they do what the fuck ever. Because when you go down south, trucks they can't get in the fast lane. They got to stay the 2 lanes over. But they can pass.
They can pass.
But they got to get
back
over.
over. They can't ride that left lane.
You can trucks ride everywhere they want to, up the side, in the middle. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like I love when I go south here, because guess what? You know the trucks we rolling, trucks gonna get over and move out the way. Up here, you be finding a dump truck in the fast lane, knowing that motherfucker don't drop gears so often.
Right.
But let's touch on something right here. So let's get back to the Hinton. All I'm gonna say is, y'all, with the Hinton case, the I-4, that's bullshit. Y'all killed it. He killed the innocent man.
He did.
And he gonna go to the chair. They gonna kill him. Now the part I didn't agree with is the judge letting all them police in there.
Yeah, and it's like
I didn't agree with none of
and
that.
all that shit. The
I
intimidation
didn't agree
factor
with that
and all
because
that.
guess what? He's no different criminal than Lee Malvo, and he killed innocent people out here. There's been other people that killed. They're like, yeah, listen, that's intimidation.
Yeah, unnecessary.
That's the brother came in there. I saw what happened. He walked up, and everybody is on 1,000. So the judge did himself a disjustice by even letting him in. The judge should say,
yeah, clear the courtroom.
The judge should have cleared the courtroom, let the case get done, and then you need to have, in my personal opinion, this is the way it's supposed to go down. Another jurisdiction should have been there to deal with him. You know what I'm saying? They said, you got all the local doors. No, man, bring in the outside jurisdiction.
State troopers.
Which they're going to have to handle anyway, because they're going to look at it like it's bias is going on. So you bring all of them out there, you like, oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do the bail hearing. Actually, the bail hearing could have been done from the jail cell. Mm-hmm. They didn't even have to bring them in there. The new technology now, you walk my man down the hall, go in there.
Do a video conference.
Boom. They didn't even have to do all that. All that old extra hootenanny bullshit that the judge allowed them, that was bullshit. Because, you know, as much as you know, we all fly the flag of the blue across the country. That's corrections, COs, whatever. Right is right. Wrong is fucking wrong. You know what I'm saying? And they tell everybody, it's like, yo, y'all blue. I said, ho. And I'm going to say this, and I want y'all to hear what I say when I say it. The thin blue line only counts for the Caucasian police. Did you hear what I said? The thin blue line only counts for the Caucasian police. I don't know how corrections the same way.
Hell yeah, good old boy network.
We don't have a good old boy. We are the minority, not the majority. We have no network. And if the only way the blue line, let me edit it. The thin blue line for the Caucasians and the safe black dudes. If you're a black dude that stand up for yourself, ain't gonna take their bullshit, it damn sure don't account for you. It's not for you. That ain't you. You got to come in and watch your own back. You understand what I'm saying? You got to stay with your. It's like when Obama got made president. He put the blueprint out to every black person that ever runs for public office how to stay the fuck out of trouble.
Right.
And he did it. But yet we still got motherfuckers think they Caucasian. And they get jammed up. Dude, you can't do this. Your shit gotta run straight down the middle. Mm-hmm. You can't veer off, you can't do this, because the thing Trump is up. What Trump doing right now, Biden couldn't do it.
Obama couldn't do it.
Obama
No Democratic president.
No Democrat could have ever done that. But since he's one of them good old boys, bringing them Afrikaners over here, 54. And y'all so crazy. He like Harry Houdini. Smoke your murder. Kick all the foreigners out and then bring some more foreigners in. What the fuck?
Yeah. You heard they trying to do that $5 million shit, the damn gold, instead of a green card, it's a gold card.
Yeah. But hold up. How you gonna get a ship from Air Force One for Qatar? $400 million. That bitch probably gold toilets and shit. Man, the fuck out of here. And y'all, we on Facebook, you hate to call people out, but you can. And I tell people, I was like, and people listen to what I'm saying. And I don't care how y'all feel about this. You will lose friendships fucking with Trump.
Sure will, because I will fucking unfriend you.
Because if you believe what he is right, your moral compass is fucked up.
So, since we're about midway through, and since we jumped off into Trump, and we don't want to talk about a whole lot of politics.
We're going to talk
about what we're going to do is, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Lincoln Project. They're a bunch of Republicans who are anti-Trump, and they make advertisements to expose the things that Trump do.
Right.
I figured, so we don't talk your head off about politics. We just go ahead and drop in their commercial, let you see it. Now this is a commercial from Republicans.
It's a commercial
from Republicans.
Commercial from Republicans
about Trump. These are people telling you what it really is.
If you have any questions, please drop your questions. If you have any statements to make, come on, we're gonna put them on there. We'll read them out. It's good. It's all good.
All right, so let's go ahead and drop this, and we'll be back. We'll see y'all on the other side of this.
Ask yourself, are you better off than you were 100 days ago? Trump came back, not to lead, but to punish. He purged loyal Americans from government, fired heroic generals, demanded loyalty over competence, turned the Justice Department into his revenge machine, let this guy steal your private data, and wreck Social Security. Our allies betrayed. Ukraine sold out to Putin, turning our government into a police state, kidnapping American citizens, sending innocent people to foreign hellholes, snatching students off the street for tweeting. Then came the tariffs, markets crashing, retirements wiped out, America isolated, weak, China winning the trade game. He pardoned terrorists and criminals. This isn't a second term. It's Trump's second chance to end America, and it's working. So no, you're not better off. You're not safer. Nothing is cheaper. The economy is worse. Our country is in danger. Just imagine what the next 100 days will bring.
All right, shout out to the Lincoln Project. You can catch them on YouTube. They have a whole YouTube page. They actually have some great correspondents that talk about things, but they also have some very informative commercials. And what I'm going to try to do is when I come across one of the informative commercials, we're going to drop it in during the show. Just so we don't have to talk about it, you can see exactly what other Republicans are saying about this dude. Like it's not just us. They're stating facts. But anyway, moving right along, let's talk about political correctness.
I wish I could bring Aaron, yo.
Yeah,
I wish we could link him in, yo. That would fucking.
So
can we link him in?
We can, but we'd probably have to set it up in advance. But we'll get him on.
Listen.
All right. So
shout out to Earth AF, Big A. He's the most realist. Come from the bottom of the shoe. He has no cut cards.
I get political correctness. I get that we got to be politically more politically correct now because people are offended by certain things that get said. But I think sometimes, just sometimes, we take political correctness way too far. For example, the pronouns, right? If you were he and you want to be called the she, fine. If you were she and you want to be called the he, fine. I've called Sean Carter Jay-Z since I've known him. So if you can be called whatever you want to be called, but here's what I am not going to do. I am not going to change the English language. They and them is multiple people. I am not going to call you they or them. Not going to do it. I'm not going to change the English language for you. He can be a she. She can be a he. None of y'all by yourself, singular, can be a they or a them. We'll not do it.
So
We'll do it.
here's my spin on it. I respect everybody's choice to be able how they want to move, how they want to groove. But I think the pressure is being put more on the kids, the generation that don't understand. Us as adults, we can kind of navigate our way through it. But when you're telling a kid 4, 5, 6 coming through middle school, he, she, they, them, because there's a creation of another genre of people, which they aren't. There's only human beings on this planet. And the only thing I ever agreed on Trump Trump is male or female. I can't. I have never seen a gay dog.
Well,
I ain't never seen a gay rabbit.
have you ever spoke to a gay rabbit to find out whether or not they're gay? Because they might be gay. You know what I'm saying?
Listen to what I'm saying.
They
man.
might waggle a little bit different.
Listen,
That's the
listen,
business, though. Like,
Listen, and I don't care
right? That's their business.
how they roll, how they move, how they do whatever. But I don't think it should be forced upon society to accept them. If it's your personal preference to be gay, trisexual, multisexual, or whatever, then you go ahead and move that way. It ain't gonna affect me one way or another.
I watched a movie and I forgot what show it was.
It wasn't Brokeback Mountain.
Nah, man, nah. You know there's a damn part 2 now. Anyway.
It's called Brokeback Mountain Down to the Village.
No, it's
I'm lying.
I forgot what the hell it was. But
Hey, Big A, you watching?
But so, and it was the guy that was sitting at the table. He was a gay dude, but he didn't know about how all the pronouns and how all the things like work. Like he wasn't ever exposed to it. And they're sitting there like each person is introducing themselves, and they're saying all their pronouns and adjectives and adverbs, and he's like, I don't get
It
it.
puts you in catch-22 here. Because first of all, man, when I look at the emails, when I start looking at emails that come out now with he, she, they, you got to put. Not only do you have to put your name on it, you got to put he, she, they, all them,
Yeah,
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
yeah. My job.
I don't want to offend
You
nobody.
walk around with buttons, and the button says, not recognize. I identify as, and then it has like she or he, and it's a little at my age. It's too much for me to think about.
And then you call a dude he, and they trans. What they call? Damn, fuck the word up.
What correction?
They in the
transition.
process.
Oh,
They in the process.
transition.
Now you sitting down HR.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, what the fuck, yo? You know what I'm saying? Make it make sense.
I remember I was typing up an email, and I read the person's name that they were referring to, and I said she, and when they sent me the reply back to the email, they corrected me. It said no, that's a male, and I was like, okay, and I was gonna respond back and say, well, he got a female name, so I was unsure of. My apologies, but I was like, you know what? I can't even go into it. I can't give this the rest too much more energy in my day. Mom, I was wrong.
Think about this, though. Let's say some dude, one of your homies, decided he was gonna flip the script. You feel what I'm saying? You've been knowing this mofo for 30 years. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He sent you an email, y'all working the same job, and they come back. Wait a minute. Oh, and you be like, yeah. I said, yeah. You typing back like. But you don't realize,
Right? He's a she.
He's a she now. Now the game is all jacked up. I
Yeah.
just don't like the fact that the jackpots people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you don't. I mean, listen. It's enough. You got to go to work, try to stay out of trouble. You can't hug nobody. You got to dap them up. You know, you catch an HR charge for nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, hold on, man. I wasn't doing it. Oh, shit, you catch an HR charge like a gun bullet, like a bullet. A straight. I call it a straight. You catch a straight like nobody's business.
If a female even remotely extends her arms to hug your head on the side.
Let me get this.
On the side.
What's up, shorty?
All right. We cool.
But you know what they don't realize, though? Us in the law enforcement industry are different people.
Yeah.
Predators and everything. Because we don't have filters.
No, we
don't
what the
have-
hell is on our mind. And,
We don't have, like, y'all want to give us around there. We be in there, yo, the females charge as much trash as the dudes,
Yeah.
and the dudes charge as much. And we've moved different. I say, maybe not this new generation of police or this new generation of correction, but we was
I came at a
we
time
was
when
good. You know what I'm saying? We talk trash to each other because once you put that blue on, it ain't female to male. We all out here to rock out.
everybody's an officer.
Right.
Everybody's an officer. I came up in a time
Now, out of the way shit? Yeah,
when you
okay.
said what the
got
fuck
that.
you wanted to say. If you wanted to drop a hard R, you dropped a hard R. But you as I got older, I had to adjust and I had to adapt. And I just feel like, look, while you're wanting everybody to adjust and adapt, give us some of the grace that you want us to give you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we might slip up and say something. It's not to be negative or derogatory. We just kind of being who we are.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm using the word. This is not to be derogatory. But we know the word back in the 70s and 80s was bulldagger.
Mm-hmm.
Dyke, you know what I'm saying? But that's politically
Incorrect.
incorrect. We know. But you catch some of them back in the day, they are what they are. They like I had a whole conversation. She was like, "Oh, I'm old," and I had tears coming out. She said, "I'm old, gay baby. You can't offend me."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just real. You know what I'm saying? It's like nice people. I was like, I have no problem with a person doing what they
Do
Be
what
who
you
you
want to do.
are.
Be
You
who
feel
you
me?
want to be. Like, I don't have no need to try to stop somebody from being who they want to be. But like I said, just give us the same grace that you expect us to give you. If we mess up sometimes, it's nothing wrong with correcting somebody and say, "Hey, I prefer that you not call me that," or you know, "Hey, my bad," you know, my bad. It wasn't even intentional. Because there's a whole list of words that I used to say I can't say no more.
You can't say nothing no more.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta be on pens and needles and pens, and
It's like when you walk up to people, though, you don't even ask. You're like, "How you doing? How can I help you?"
yeah,
You don't even
yeah.
Mr. It used
Not
to be
me.
Mr. Ms. You know, you just like, "Can I help you? What you need?"
Like I was on the phone when I worked customer service. The lady called in. She had a very deep voice. I called her sir. Name on the account wasn't definitive on whether it was a he or a she. So I said, "Yes, sir." And she said, "I'm a man." And I said, "I'm sorry." And she gonna say, "Well, I'm not." I was apologizing because I called you a man. Yo, give me a break here.
That's why I stopped just like I trained myself to just say,
Just
"How
say,
can I help you?"
yeah, or say their name. Just say,
Good afternoon. How can I help you?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Because I could be looking at a dude and he identifies a chair. I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
a folding chair. Wait a minute. Okay, Mr. Chair. How would you like? You know what I'm saying? And that's just the real. I mean, you just got to stay
I mean,
as in this world today.
identify as what you want, and that you know, we gonna leave this off at that. But
Yeah.
identify by what you want.
Mhm.
I'll call you whatever you want to be called, except they or them, because I know that that's plural. And if you're a singular person, unless you got now wait, there's a caveat to that.
Unless you're hermaphrodite.
If you're a hermaphrodite, or if you have what is it? If you're schizophrenic, you got multiple personality disorder, I might give you
That's a
they or
Gemini.
them. I might give you a they or them because there's a bunch of y'all living in that head. So I might give you that.
Mm.
But if you're one person, singular, individual, do not expect me to call you they or them. It's not going to do it. Not going to do it. I'll give you a he or a she. I'll give you a what. I'll even give you an it. They or them, negative. Not going to do it. I will not do
Yo,
it.
you're a
So
fool, yo.
yeah.
My man
And
said,
they be at work. I identify as they or them. Nah, you identify as he or she. Pick one so we can move on.
I think the craziest thing, yo, is the identify shit is that fucks me up badly. You know what I'm saying? When they say that shit, be like, yeah, wait a minute, you identify as what? Like, I identify as a chair,
Right.
car. I'm like, okay, we gonna go with that. I don't think that should be allowed. I think it should be go because if you trying to get blood out of a rock, you know what I'm saying?
I think anybody who got a felony can identify as the president.
Did you catch that one? Identify as the president, huh?
Yeah, heck yeah. If you got a felony, you should be able to identify as the president because he does.
How my man said he's a criminal now.
So I got a new name for him.
Mhm.
He's not President Donald Trump. He's convicted felon Donald Trump.
Yeah,
And-
CFGT.
And JD Vance is assistant felon. JD Vance.
Yeah.
I can't get these guys.
The fact that these dudes and none of them people they put in front of Congress can say yes, he's fucking up or yeah, he wrong, fucks me up, yo. Imagine, look, hold on, let me say this. Me and you, we go to court.
Mhm.
We on some charges. We got to sit in front of we ain't on charges. We got to sit in front of, let's say the district court, like me. So you had to go to court. Let's say before you go to trial, you got to sit in front of state's attorneys, see how the trial goes.
Right.
They got to look at the case, make sure everything's smooth, make sure you ain't got.
See if
They
they're
check,
going to follow
they
through
check
with
your
the charges, blah, blah, blah.
They check your background, make sure your shit is because you can't testify. I tell everybody, you cannot testify as a police officer in federal court with a fucking background. They will drop the case.
They'll drop the case, yeah.
They will drop the case.
They won't even put you up in front of them. They won't even put you up
That's
in front
why
of
they
them.
have a 99% conviction rate. They ain't
Right.
playing. So you go in there and you be like, yo, did you or did you not see him drop the car? I dropped the gun. Well, you know, it was raining outside, and this administration said they wanted us to get guns out of the street. But, you know, Biden and Obama, you know, they messed this.
Right.
Did you know they'd have been like, yo, get the fuck out of here.
Bye.
You know, they'd have been like, get the fuck out of here. Be like, yeah, you ain't doing it. But you can't even get motherfuckers that swore to an oath to sit in front of Congress anyway and say, whatever, Russia invaded
Right. Russia invaded motherfucking Ukraine.
They will not say it, but the history books say it.
Yeah.
The history books say Russia invaded Ukraine, but they will not say it. They will not say, I heard, I don't know what I'm going to do, but Albrico is supposed to be coming back.
Okay.
Because they said you're going to disobey what Congress said, bring him back. You got due process. Everybody gets deported against due process.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy that you get snatched off the street and sent back.
Yeah. Sent anyway. But we're going to wrap this up with this. As we always tell y'all.
Hold on, let's argue real quick.
Okay.
We're going to end up with an argument right now. I'm going to tell y'all now. Y'all need to stop comparing LeBron to Michael Jordan.
Yeah, because there's no comparison.
Compare LeBron to Magic.
Okay.
Kobe is Mike.
Okay. Let's take 5 seconds to compare LeBron to Magic. There's no comparison.
Who said LeBron, right? Hold up.
LeBron Magic, no comparison.
Okay. You said no comparison.
No comparison. No comparison.
Okay. I want to eat that. Watch this. I'm telling you, y'all comparing him to the wrong dude, man.
He tries to be.
He don't try to be. He came in the game when he came in the game.
He tries to be, and that's all right. Point 61-46. First of all, game is different now than it was then.
Thank you for saying that.
Game's different.
Okay, now let's go back. Let's go back with it. Now, if you're gonna compare it with somebody,
All right, so who's that? Magic and LeBron? Three championships? Nope. He got 4 championships. He got 3.
he got one more than he do. He got one more than LeBron.
No, LeBron's got 1 more than him.
No, LeBron's got 4. He
4.
got 5.
No, he's got 3.
No, LeBron's got 4. He's got 5. Oh, 5. He got 5.
Oh, that's championships at the top.
He got MVP. He's got 4
I ain't got my
MVP.
glasses,
Magic's
yeah.
got 3. You know what I'm saying? I tell everybody, let's call a spade a spade.
But wait. Hold on. Oh, question.
Mm-hmm.
What was Magic's position?
Magic played the power forward just like him.
Oh, okay.
They played the same position, and they played all 5 of them. It's just that LeBron never had to really play center like that, but Magic did.
Yeah. Yeah. Jordan was he wasn't a point guard. Power forward.
Jordan was a shooting guard. Wasn't
Shooting guard.
he? You think he'll play center? Hell no.
No, he didn't have to.
That's why I make
That's
that's why I make that.
You know what Jordan did? Win. So here's
Leave
why.
Kobe and Jordan in the same realm and put Magic and LeBron.
Okay, so here's the Magic and LeBron. Magic played for the same team whole career.
Let's say this.
Whole career.
We weren't, and
Whole
that's
career.
why I told y'all yesterday. You got to go from era to era. When the rules change, now you got what's under the clock. What you got?
That 3 second rule.
Shaq couldn't have survived in this era because he was an in the paint dude.
Yeah, but Shaq. No, they had the 3 second rule when Shaq was playing.
Shaq was the most dominant big man ever touched that fucking.
Definitely.
So listen,
but
now what your 7-footers doing?
They most of them are centers.
Say, come on, spit that shit out. What are the most 7-footers doing right now instead of being centers? Say it, motherfucker.
Well,
Shooting a fucking 3 ball from out there on the fucking outside of the wing.
That shit wasn't happening back in the days.
When you was a get your ass down
that
there.
shit wasn't happening back.
Where did Kareem make his money?
Inside the paint.
In the paint.
In the paint.
Shaq ate where?
In the paint.
With
LeBron needs to sit his ass
you can't, yo.
down.
He's defined.
And now he can't even retire. Because now if he retires, he's going out on the bottom and not the top. He had his opportunity to.
So what exactly is the bottom, yo?
I mean, he lost. You know what I'm saying? He lost.
What exactly is the bottom?
He lost. He lost. Like it's bottom. Like not the bottom of his career, but
somebody
this
explain
season,
something to me.
Bad
This man,
season
40
for him.
years old.
Exactly. Sit his ass
wait
down.
Wait a minute. Tracy McGrady was done before 40. Kobe.
Most of them are done before 40.
Kobe had flat tires, but I like Kobe before that.
Most of them leave before 40.
The only other person that played long as he did, well, who was it?
I don't know who.
Kareem. Kareem played through his 40.
And he should have left before he was 40. There's a certain time when you need to bow the hell out.
Why?
Because you should.
Yo, if you still better than the top 1% of the
Do you
NBA
think he's
league,
better than the top 5?
Yeah. He's
You
still
think
giving you 30 points a game.
So what? Look who's on his team.
Who?
Nobody. Who
But-
else is going
No,
to
he had Luka. Luka giving you 50 and no defense.
Okay, so you got 2 people on the whole fucking team that
And
got to
when-
win the game. If 2 people on the team
So-
got to win the whole damn game,
So
the other
you
team
saying-
scores 100.
you saying he couldn't go to another team and average 30 points a game?
No. Hell,
First of all, at
No.
this point,
First
he
of all,
don't
they
want
won't let him.
He don't want you.
he's getting ready to leave again.
He don't want you.
He's gonna
Yo,
leave.
what's the hate with LeBron? Yo?
It's not a hate for
It
LeBron.
is.
It's just a reality of the game, yo.
Yo, you hate LeBron, yo.
I don't hate LeBron. It's just a reality.
Let me ask
of
you a
the
question.
game.
When Michael Jordan came to the league out of North Carolina
Mhm.
and he went down to Chicago,
Right.
did they give him the moniker that he's going to be the best ever?
No.
Okay. When Kobe came to the league, and he started with Orlando first before he got to the Lakers. Understand that. He got traded to the Lakers.
Right.
He was there with Penny and Shaq. I think he was there with Penny and Shaq.
Nah.
He was there with Penny then.
Penny, yeah.
Did they give Kobe the moniker? He's going to be the best.
Kobe had
No.
Yes,
that
he
ain't what
did.
they
Yes, he did.
did.
When Kobe
They-
came out of high school,
Motherfucker,
they
answer the
slated
question.
him to
Answer the
be
question, yo.
big.
When he was sitting on the bench in Orlando, did they give Kobe the moniker that he was going to be the best?
They gave,
Did they give it to him?
they gave it
Did
to
they give it to him?
they gave it to
Did
nobody.
they
except-
give it to him?
No, okay, let's say they didn't give it to him because he was sitting on the fucking bench. But
Uh-huh.
the expectation was high.
No, listen, what I'm about to
The
say.
expectation was high.
Listen, now I'm getting ready to make it.
Okay.
When LeBron James stepped into Cleveland, what was his title?
They
What
gave
was
him-
it? No,
they
no.
gave him
You
that
sound like
King
the
James-
motherfucker in the Congress.
They gave him that King James title.
Hold
okay.
up. Let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
Did he live up to it? No.
No.
Yes. Oh, fuck out of here, yo. No, he like Pam
No.
Bondi right now, yo.
No.
Come on, yo.
Fuck out of here.
He done live up to his name?
No.
Are you fucking high?
Okay, so living up to it, he would have brought a motherfucking championship to Cleveland
He did?
without. Yeah.
Yo,
He
it
had
wasn't
to
his
leave.
fault, yo. Cleveland kept surrounded with has-beens. You know what he had to go up there, yo.
So
He
gets
had
his-
has-beens.
he trades out, right?
Yeah, had.
He
They
trades out,
kept
go to
trading him
Miami.
and washed up.
He go to
motherfucker.
Miami. He gets his first championship.
Right.
Miami would have got that championship whether he got his ass down there or not. Fuck out of here, yo.
Who was in
Come on,
Miami
it was-
before he got
it
there?
was D-Wade.
And what?
Fuck, who was that five? Yo?
Who there?
Who was that five?
Who there? Who was there? Come on,
I
now.
can't remember everybody that was there. But they
Let
had.
me ask, hold on. Before you even start that, before LeBron got to Miami, right? How many
Mhm.
points was D-Wade averaging a night down there, man? They were still losing.
I don't know. I have to look that up. I don't
He was
know.
about 50 points a night. He was doing what Mike was doing when he was in Chicago in the early years.
Okay. Okay.
D-Wade, Chris Bosh, and LeBron can tell you, right? You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I think, was Ray Allen on that team or was he on the Cleveland team? He was on the Miami team, wasn't he? Ray Allen was the corner shooter for them on the Miami team, wasn't he? Or was he in Cleveland?
I think it was a Cleveland.
But not to be mistaken, and that's when they went down there and won the championship, right?
So you think
He was, when his first,
So
this
what
is
you're
his team in
saying-
Cleveland, yo. This is his motherfuckers in Cleveland. And you tell me,
Okay, while you look that up, so
Uh-huh.
what you're saying is he brought the championship to Miami. He didn't go down there and get with a great team and just get a championship on the whim. You saying if he wouldn't have went to Miami, Miami wouldn't have got a championship. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying that.
You saying Lakers wouldn't have got a championship either if he wasn't on Lakers.
Well, remember, Kobe was young.
Yeah, I'm saying if he wasn't on Lakers, Lakers wouldn't have got a championship.
Yeah. When LeBron James joined the Cleveland Cavaliers in 03, the team had a mix of, listen, Elgastas, they said Vade Didac, and Kendrick Brown. Who the fuck is going to win a championship with that?
But if he's the whole team,
No, it's not. He's the whole team. Everybody has one. All right, so you saying, Joe, let me ask you a question.
no, Jordan had a great team around him.
Who was, you don't
He had a
get,
great team around
you don't win shit without a rival.
Yeah, he had a great team.
And he didn't start really winning shit till
But
who
here's
got
the
there?
thing.
Who got there?
Who did?
When Jordan started
Oh, you
winning,
talking Pippen?
when Pippen got there, then he had a bunch of role players. You had Curry, you had Paxson, you had Oakley, you had Cartwright. They surrounded him with role players. And then Jordan had to bite into the rule that he didn't have to put up 90 points a game
So why isn't the Lakers still in playoffs now?
because they got shit. You know what the biggest problem with the Lakers was? Your boy Luka don't play defense. He might give you 50, but he gonna give up 25.
Yeah, 50 for 25. I'll take it.
No,
I'll take it. 50 for
no,
25.
it's not.
Still ahead
You
of the game.
need, it's listen,
But here's you know what? Here's the thing. You know, I'm gonna end it with this because we ain't never gonna end this argument. This argument gonna go on for fucking ever until LeBron finally sits his black ass down.
the haters.
Go New York. That's the fuck I'm
The
saying.
haters,
Go
the
New
haters,
York.
They going home.
Let's go. Let's beat
They
Boston.
Because you know they definitely going home in the football season.
Look,
Them motherfuckers going the fuck home.
Look, here you
They
go.
should have drafted Shadua, but they don't want no black man at the helm of the New York
They
Yankees.
don't, and we have to
I
fix
mean,
that shit.
But I thought DEI.
No more DEI.
No more DEI. Trump said no more DEI.
Trust no more DEI.
Even though it only works for white people.
Yeah, because DEI ain't got really nothing to do with black. It's yeah,
Just dumbass shit. You know what I'm saying?
white women really. But anyway,
We got one more.
Best
Best rap album of 2000s.
rap album of 2000. Hold on. Rap albums for 2000.
And this is personal. This ain't got nothing to do with how they stack up or nothing. It's a lot of good ones on here.
It's a whole lot of good ones. It's a whole lot of
What's
good
your
ones.
one on there?
And I'm not even gonna go New York like I normally would. Marshall Mathers.
That stank on you.
Definitely up top.
That blueprint.
Um,
But no, that blueprint was in there.
2000?
Yeah.
Mm,
2000. That Blueprint came out in 01.
yeah, you said 2000.
The game, the document, that's in 2000s.
Oh, 2000s. Oh shit, that's a big fucking playing field.
I mean,
That's a
let's
big
call
fucking-
out run. Let's go ahead. I mean, I'm just putting it out here for the sake of argument.
Blueprint was definitely good. Marshall Mathers was definitely. You had Outkast. They dropped in 2000.
Don't forget the Clips, Lord Willis. But you ain't listening to them, did you?
The Clips?
The Clips.
Oh, the Clips? I did listen to Clips.
That old that first album was fire.
However, I don't know. I give them anywhere near best album type status.
That motherfucker was fire. Yeah.
They had good tracks, but I don't think they had a good album. When I say best album, I'm thinking full album. I'm thinking bang to bang. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
you can listen to it straight through. You ain't skipping through a whole lot of
If you gonna
tracks.
say that, I'm gonna go with Stillmatic.
Stillmatic, yeah. Stillmatic, Blueprint.
The Game. His first album.
I don't even
Stank on You.
I don't even know if I would
Outkast.
go through the whole Game album without skipping a track. Nah. Best album to me, and this is where music right now got the game fucked up. They'll give somebody best album because they have one hit.
Yeah.
Best album to me is I could go cover to cover on your whole album, not skip a track, and that whole thing bumps. If you don't have that, not best.
They don't
album.
even press that no more. That's crazy.
They don't.
They put on there.
Best
You know,
album
when you
now,
go on Apple, they put the stars.
best
inside
album of the year, all of that. Like they give it to somebody who had one or two tracks that banged out for the whole year. But see, they also don't listen to a lot of B-side now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's no B-side.
See, when I was coming
You
up
know what
as
the
a
B-side
DJ,
is? YouTube, TikTok.
yeah, we used to play the B-side because we used to try to break the other songs on the album so that people saw listen to the whole album.
That was the thing.
Yeah, they don't do that no more. You get one or two tracks, maybe three. You call it a day.
I mean, and then during that 2000s, there was two albums in there that you know was hot. That was the Black Album and the Blueprint.
Yeah, Black. Yeah.
So it was a lot of
Like
controversy.
Jay is
the measurement stick.
but see, a lot of people don't give him the respect that he needs to have. That he's GOAT. He's GOAT status.
Here's the thing, and I tell people like
A GOAT, not the GOAT, but a GOAT.
he gave Russell came out with Def Jam. Let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
See if you know this. I know you better know it. If you don't know it, I'll cut you up.
Okay.
So, what label was Run DMC on?
Def Jam.
They weren't.
They were.
They were.
Jive.
They were not.
Run DMC came out on Def Jam. They was the
They
fucking
were not
first
Def
artist.
Jam. They were profile artists.
No.
Yes. Go look it up. Yo, you look at their first album, it says profile.
No, profile. No.
They were, or Def Jam was
The same
they are
way-
profile art. They were profile artists. That's what everybody thought they were on Def Jam. They weren't. Studio album, had released in 1994. It was the first rap album. I said, the historical significance. They were on profile. They were never Def Jam. That's what we all thought. They weren't. They weren't Def Jam artists. Yo. You know that, right?
Later released material on Arista, which Def Jam was under Arista.
Right. So they were.
They initially signed the profile.
That's what I was telling everybody. I was like, they get that one wrong all the time. You go on Jeopardy, you be like, profile. You better say profile. Because remember, this is how Def Jam worked. They always had subsidiaries.
Well,
But they were
Arista had
Arista
had
a
subsidiaries.
profile.
Def Jam-
Just like you got Def Jam North and Def Jam South.
but
they had like T.I.'s got his own printer called Grand Hustle.
yeah,
He's under. So you ask him what
he's under
label.
Def Jam South.
Yeah, but he's on his label is
It's
Grand Hustle. So that's what I tell everybody. When you look at it, you got to read all into it.
But so back
Because
then,
if you go pick up your record, it's
so
like
back
that on it.
then, there was
Look at
no
it's
such
like that. It
thing-
says profile in it.
There was no such thing back then as a black record label, except Motown. Except Motown.
I thought it was another one. The chick that scammed the dudes from what's the one that made the Sugar Hill Gang, that black lady. Yeah.
Oh, Sugar Hill Gang was the record label.
Yeah.
That was a white label actually.
I thought Sugar Hill was black.
No, it was white. They put black people up front to make it seem like it was a black label. Sugar Hill was a white owned label.
Oh.
Sugar Hill was a white owned label. I think back then you had to ride up on this because even Aftermath wasn't its own entity. It was under Arista.
I thought they were under
Bad Boy was under Arista. They had to buy it out. Diddy had to buy it out from Arista.
Because they told us he robbed them. That's
Black label, but it wasn't black owned.
What did it say?
Black label.
What did it say?
That's because everything that was on there was black music. That's why they say it's a black label. But ownership?
Okay. What did it say? It said own. What the fuck? I'm
No, it
looking at
doesn't
the
say
words.
own.
Yes, it do. Read your words. That's the one they was talking about, Sylvia Robinson. I remember that.
I remember Sylvia Robinson.
That's when they do they break it down. This is black owned
of the hip hop genre. I always thought they had white money behind them. Because I remember Rapper's Delight was Sugar Hill Gang.
You live and you learn.
Yeah, you do.
I mean,
And that's why we do the research. Sometimes
see that you do research.
Do your research.
Do your research.
Sometimes you can be wrong.
But I'm telling people like,
I always thought they had white money behind them because Sugar Hill Gang was their first artist.
And they said they stole money from. Remember, that's why the
Sugar
Hill never made a lot of money because they got robbed.
Money from there. But a lot of the artists back then didn't get paid.
Yeah, the 80s. What my man say? Was it Queen Latifah that said it? Well, I forget it.
Jay-Z said it.
He said everybody got robbed on that first country. No, Heather B. I was listening to Heather B. Said
everybody did.
Everybody got robbed.
Let me tell you, my brother signed to. My brother used to do house music. Mm-hmm. Rest in peace, God. He used to do house music. He got signed on with Warner Brothers, right?
Okay.
Right.
Well, who was the subsidiary?
Warner Brothers was the label.
Oh,
that was the label.
Okay.
So he goes, he does all these tracks, but he wasn't well known in the house industry.
Wow.
They put out all his shit under other artists' name and gave him scrap shit. He never got paid per record.
Never seen a royalty.
Never seen a royalty check. His name was nowhere listed on any of the fucking records. But when he was, I remember being inside the studio, listening to him record certain tracks. And I ain't even getting to all the tracks, but he would record certain tracks, and they would take pieces of it, and he would do it, and then the DJ or the house,
the sound dude,
the house artist that they wanted to put out, he would come in and put his last little spin on it, and then they would call the whole thing his track. And my brother,
that's why
literally get. Remember when Third Base was like, you get a box of Newports and Puma sweats. Yeah, they gave him like shopping trips and shit like that.
That's
like,
why
no money.
That's why I'm happy about these younger generation dudes.
Yeah, take advantage of they take advantage of the fact that
beats, putting them online. They cutting out the motherfuckers that been robbing black motherfuckers for years.
They cut.
Hey man, hats off to Master P. Hats off to Jay-Z when he got Rockefeller because he owned all his masters from the beginning.
A lot of
Hats
people
off
don't know Jay-Z
what's the other ones out the NOLA?
Cash Money.
Cash Money. They own their shit. Luke owned his shit.
Yeah.
Hats off to them, man, because they got up on it and they kept it. But my dudes got jerked. A lot of our favorite rappers got jerked.
That's why
Jay-Z hold on, it didn't start there. It started in the 50s and 60s.
Oh yeah,
Earth, Wind and Fire, Temptation. They got robbed early.
It was way before rap music. It was
Four Tops, Temptation.
Yeah, they got
James
scraps.
Brown. They got robbed.
Fucking New Edition. They first fucking album. They gave him some scooters.
Look at Stax Records. What's the movie? When the dude was giving them cars and everything, but wasn't giving them no bread. Yeah, shit. Fucking Pop. Suge did it to Pop. Remember?
Yeah.
Pop was getting cars, but he had nothing. The two of his moms, the Phoenix and Cool, got with him.
Yeah, it was like, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna do him like that.
Yeah. And then I think I'm almost thinking Big Mother had to go at Diddy.
He had to go at his mom went at that Diddy for that shit. Yeah. So the worst thing about it is a lot of the people that's doing the robbing now is other previous artists who learned the game, and now they shitting on the new artists, and they doing the same thing that the record companies did to them. Instead of saying, you know what, it was done to me, I don't want to do it to
Let's
nobody
change the
else.
game.
Let's change the game up. Nah.
So you gotta listen to Yo Tez on Drink Champs. Shout out to Drink Champs. When they talk to Search.
From Third Base.
And they tell the story
And
about
Third
how he
Base
got
sold the
Nas
whole
on.
thing.
He's like, yo, this how I move, because they were getting ready to jerk Nas.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we ain't doing that.
Let me tell you, it used to be, it was all about who you knew that can get you in, because there was a lot of good artists that never really blew up, but it's just they didn't know the right people. Because it was like the underground scene has been crazy.
Listen, think about who we listen to. We listen to Lord Finesse.
Yeah.
We listen to dudes that most dudes never made it to the, but
That
Lord Finesse is a dope producer.
Lord Finesse was dope artist.
Dope artist. I like Lord Finesse. I was like, yo,
fuck with all his music.
Lord Finesse is it.
Diamond D, the whole digging in the crates.
And I'm from Baltimore, and I know about
the whole digging in the crates, motherfucking crew.
I love to understand. You give me the underground like
Outstanding, but
Griselda
they never
right
got that
now.
push.
Griselda right now.
Yeah.
I love Griselda. You know
Never
what I'm
got
saying?
the push that they deserve. But now these artists now, as long as you're willing to do the work, you know what I'm saying, you can get your stuff out there. You can go independent.
Shout out to K-Slay, Clue, and all them that let these dudes bubble. Because that K-Slay always, K-Slay put them with that fire out there. Because when I heard the dude...
So here's the thing with K-Slay, RIP to my dude. He was a phenomenal DJ. He started out with the right mindset, but then he kind of started to fall into the same payola. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you want me to get you out there? You got to pay me. See, when I was back in the days when I was DJing, I would play shit just because it's hot. And I'm going to keep playing it until you think it's hot. So I'm going to play it one time. I might get your head bobbing. But if you hit 5 times in one night, you like, wait, that's got to be the latest and greatest hot shit, because he playing this shit over and over again. I'm going to play it till you think it's hot. It's called breaking a record. They don't do that no more. Now you got to pay somebody for them to break a record. Like you got to pay like Funk Flex. You know what I'm saying? For him to play your shit over and over again, throw the sound effects behind it to make it seem like it's the hottest thing.
Prime example of a song, yo. You remember the song Hoochie Coochie by MC Brains?
Yeah.
They played that shit so much you had to like.
Yeah.
It was a garbage.
It was garbage as shit. Garbage as shit.
In my opinion. That's my opinion.
That's my opinion too.
But the shit, when it hit, the motherfuckers, the club would jump the fuck up.
Fucking
Timberland put that motherfucker on the right path, boy.
Fucking can't touch this. All that type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
It was the era, and I'm telling you, it ain't a motherfucker in here that ain't listened to MC Hammer's first album. I ain't saying Funky Head.
I did not.
I did. I thought the motherfucker, yo,
That shit come on, skip.
The
shit come on.
I thought, yo, I
switch
thought
stations.
my man, listen, I ain't even gonna front, yo. I liked Hammer.
I couldn't.
Hammer did what he did. Now, when he started, if he'd have stayed his lane, when he made Funky Headhunter and want to be popping and all that, I was like, I'm done.
He was pop from the beginning to me. Like
He was who?
He was pop from the
No, I
beginning.
said Pac.
Oh,
His last album was called The Funky Headhunter.
I
And
didn't
now
know he had
bumps to the
fucking.
bumps to the bumps.
Oh yeah,
I was like,
that
yo,
bullshit.
stay in your lane.
Nah. I ain't never get.
Stay in your lane. But everybody had the Hammer joint. Because yo, he made shit look like yo, we could dance. Yo, this dude 63 years old and still move like that. I ain't mad.
Couldn't
at
give
him.
a
I'm like,
Hammer. Couldn't give a Tone Loc for real. What was it? Young MC. Couldn't give a Hammer. Couldn't give
What's
a
the
Young
movie?
MC.
You want it? If the hook they got you, yo. How about Candyman?
Yeah, I could rock with Candyman a little bit. Maybe a track or two, like not heavy into the album. I couldn't tell you 5 tracks on his album.
How about Father of the Sea?
Couple of tracks on his album, because for me, Father MC was my version of R&B. Like that, I could get past on that as being R&B.
How about MC8? Chill.
Yeah.
Minute to Society.
Yeah. MC8 went hard.
And Banks.
Who?
And Banks. West Coast. You're on West Coast.
I rocked with West Coast. As a matter of fact, I didn't stop rocking with West Coast until it became an East Coast West Coast beef.
Well,
Before
it
that,
was only the only beef was between fucking
no,
Snoop. I mean, it wasn't even Snoop. Snoop was good.
no, it was
And they tell us
big.
yeah.
But
Everybody
once
in on that
you
shit.
put a coast against another coast, I can't rock with the other coast. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
you gotta stop.
everything out that coast, I was just like, nah, yo, it's open season on everybody. And I used to rock with Snoop. When Snoop came out, when Snoop first dropped,
Yo, I can't believe you
I
think
was
like that.
yeah. Honestly,
Listen.
I'm honest dude. I'm gonna tell you my faults. You know what I'm saying? My faults. My
So let me
weaknesses,
ask
I'm
you a
gonna tell what it
question.
is.
So when Ice Cube, who did Ice Cube rap with?
Huh?
Who did Death Certificate?
Oh, you talking about when he was rocking with
No, who did Death Certificate?
what's the name?
Who?
The
Bomb Squad. Public Enemies.
Yeah, Public Enemy. Yeah, that's under Public Enemy. So here's the thing: used to rock hard with Cube. Used to rock hard with NWA.
Yeah, that's
Luckily for me, Cube dropped out of the. Cube was more into the movies when that whole East Coast West Coast beef was going on. Couldn't fuck with Mac 10. Couldn't fuck with none of them. You know what I'm saying? Once that East Coast West Coast beef, because it was your coast against my coast, and I got it.
Yeah, you
If I
sound
gotta
like,
choose a
yo,
coast,
you
I got
sound
to
like a
choose
nigga
the
from
East.
Martin Luther King Boulevard beefing with a nigga from fucking Poplar Grove.
Nah, it was
That's the way
East
it
Coast,
sound.
West
Your
Coast.
sound dumb.
It was East Coast
And
West Coast.
and Snoop said it himself. He's like, there was
When-
because West Coast, East Coast dudes really got it on. They had shit between Death Row and Diddy, but that was they thing. They wasn't beefing with nobody.
It was
Because Snoop came here. Snoop gave Nas his props. Snoop said, I came here, see Nas, we was chilling. And he's like, yo, he gave Nas, when he came here, he said,
get
yo,
that.
when they said
Behind the
Braveheart, they was like, yo, this nigga was that nigga. He said, you
Behind
might have
the
saw
scenes,
Nas, but it was a
later
hundred niggas
on,
with him.
After the beef is done, after everything subsides, then you hear about all these stories. But I know when fucking when Snoop and them came to shoot that video in New York, LA,
Yeah.
big city of dreams. Come on now. Why? First of all, you talking about LA? Why you shooting it in New York? Showing you stomping on our buildings? Nah, the beef was real. Son.
But see, that's what
The
y'all
beef was
said.
real.
Y'all said this. See, this is the hypocritical shit. But we can listen to Mo D and Ice-T go back and forth, and it kept stayed on wax.
So it was that.
You know what I'm saying?
That was
Keep it on
different.
wax.
That was
Keep it
different.
on wax. Being a hypocrite.
That was different. That was just wax. That was just
Two niggas. I knew.
because Mo D
Diddy
went
and
at LL the same way. You know what I'm saying?
Ice-T was there. He got caught some of the.
I see.
He
Got
caught
caught
it
up in
straight.
that. You know what I'm saying? He
You know
caught it
what I'm saying?
straight. You know what I'm saying? When we was in New York, and it was KRS versus MC
What was your
Shan.
boy, Tim Dog?
Tim Dog when he was like fuck Compton. You know what I'm saying? Yo, but you know what? That shit kind of leveled out quick. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, I was still rocking with NWA.
But West Coast niggas was fucking with East Coast shit just as much as
I was
East Coast
still
niggas
rocking
fucking with
with-
Westwood.
Right. Different beef.
You know
Different
what I'm saying?
beefs.
And the thing is, though, you can't fuck up the money for everybody.
When you sit there and you're like, you know what I'm saying, yo, it's my hood against your hood, it's my coast against your coast, then it's different. Like when KRS was going against MC Shan, right?
The
Bronx,
Bridge.
Queens,
The Bridge.
right? Bronx, Queens. I'm in Brooklyn. Got shit to do with either one of them. Bronx. KRS does a
Yo,
does a
these
track.
New York niggas are some territorial niggas, yo.
KRS did a track. He mentioned Brooklyn being down with the Bronx. At that point, somebody from Brooklyn came out with a track talking about Brooklyn blew up the bridge, South Bronx helped us out. Now it's Bronx, Brooklyn versus Queens. Can't fuck with y'all Queens niggas. You know what I'm saying? Can't fuck with y'all. Can't fuck with none of y'all. MC Shan. And I used to fuck with MC Shan or Juice Crew. Fuck with Juice Crew hard.
Who in the juice
Now,
crew, yo?
MC Shan,
Yeah, who?
Marley
Kane.
Marl, Kane, and Kane's from Brooklyn. Kane,
Yo, stop.
Roxanne Shante.
Yo, stop that shit.
But when the beef is going on and it's hood against hood,
Stop that shit.
nah,
Stop
I
that
rock
shit.
with your hood. I gotta rock with mine. Once
Yo,
that
y'all
shit-
see y'all niggas,
once that
yo,
shit
y'all
subsided,
some
it was
funny
good.
motherfuckers. yo.
Once the
Y'all
once-
got 5
once
boroughs
Pac
and y'all
Big
worried
was
about the East Coast.
once Pac and Big were both dead. Once they both
Oh,
got
so you
killed-
stopped listening to Pop when Big, huh?
Hell yeah, I didn't listen to Pac. I didn't listen to Pac at all, son. Now, once he dead, he dead. The beef is over. Went back,
That's
circled
terrible,
back
man.
to all his shit. Know what I'm saying? I will play motherfucking Ambitions of a Rider all day right now. Know what I'm saying?
That's her.
But at the time, nah, yo. Nah.
Y'all niggas is.
I gotta stomp with
Digits,
mine,
sir.
yo. I gotta stomp with
Yo,
mine.
you a gang member?
Nah, I gotta stomp with my hood. I gotta rep my
What
city.
street
You know
of
what
New
I'm
York
saying?
got your name on it?
Huh?
What street in New York got your name?
Oh, actually, Chambers Street. Nigga, that's my last name.
Where's the name of it?
It's Chambers Street.
Where's that?
It's in New York.
How long
man.
is it?
Chambers Street is well known.
But it's
Very
named
long.
after- I think it's named after the white man. But
It probably is.
You
But
look
so
like
am
a-
I. I'm also named after white
You,
man. So,
you,
but yo, like you rap when you rap. You know what I'm saying?
y'all take that shit.
When Nas and Jay was going at it, that was hard. I fucking rocked with Nas, and I will admit when he dropped that Ether.
Ether was hot.
I was like, yo, I don't know. I gotta listen to that Ether.
Ether was good, but when Jay said you drop one album every 3 years.
No, one album in 10 years,
Yeah.
nigga, I can divide.
Yeah.
That's one. Let me say two. Two through.
That was
one
it right there.
Yeah, the other was Illmatic.
Yeah.
But
All right,
here's the thing. Guess what?
What?
Even though I got to rock with Brooklyn because I'm from Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? We got to rock with Brooklyn. That was Queens. But here's what I didn't like. Jigga did some real foul and dirty shit.
to you.
Know what I'm saying?
In your opinion. Go ahead.
In my opinion, he did some real foul and dirty shit.
And what was that?
Because he wouldn't allow, his shit was getting played on Hot 97. That's the radio station in New York. This shit was getting played.
Yeah.
Nas shit they was trying to give them equal play to show, know what I'm saying, the track versus track, the beat.
Mm-hmm.
Jay said, if you gonna play his shit, I'm pulling all my shit off your records, all my shit off your station.
So let me
and that
ask
was
you,
him. That was Beanie Siegel. That was
let me ask you a question, yo. Let me ask you a
Limp
question.
Bleak.
Let me ask you a question. Let's be
Mhm.
real. Let's be real.
Yes, bro.
Is that foul or that big dog shit?
It's big dog, but it's
Yeah.
still foul. But it's
It's
still
not
foul
foul.
though. Nah, come on, man.
Because R. Kelly
Because-
did the jump.
Because it was
Kelly did
beef
the joke.
on wax. It was beef on wax. And if the beef is gonna be on wax,
What would you tell
we
them?
go verse for verse, line for line.
Get your game up. Let's go.
We go line for line. We go verse for verse. See, you didn't. Mo D and LL didn't do that shit. They played both of their shit.
What year was that?
Karis One didn't do that shit with MC Shannon. They played both of their shit.
I've never heard that story, but I've had to fact check you on that.
Of Jay doing
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Oh no, that's facts.
I gotta see. I gotta
That's
see the black and white.
that's facts.
I gotta see the black and white.
Angie Martinez even
That bitch.
Yeah, damn son. Why Angie gotta be a bitch? She even said it. Why Angie gotta be a bitch?
Yo, she a liar, yo. She been jammed up in some lies real good.
She even said it.
She said it.
Jay called the station. And
Jay
was like,
called the station.
Called the station.
Called the station. Who did he talk to?
He talked to the head of Hot 97.
They
and
know
said-
that for a fact?
Yeah.
All right.
And said if you're gonna continuously play Ether, I'm pulling all my shit off your station.
That's a lot of power, yeah. I like it.
It's a lot of
It's a
power.
power move, yeah. That's a
It's a
swinging
lot
dick
of power.
move,
Some
yeah.
foul power, but it's power.
Well,
Diddy did the same thing with what's her name, Wendy Williams, when she called him the gay rapper. Ironically, she wasn't lying.
I don't know if he's gay, but he fucking. Well, he always said he
He's
was,
the gay rapper. He's the gay. Like, come on, he's the gay rapper.
I tell motherfuckers be careful who feet you step on because this shit can end your shit.
Man, listen.
Who ended Carrie Hilson's life?
Ended her life. You mean her?
I mean, ended her career.
Damn, so
mostly.
we killing
Not her
people
life,
on the
but
show?
ended
Yeah.
her. The word was, you know who ended her?
Who?
Beyonce.
Really?
Some other shit. Fuck with Queen. Yo, listen, you know going to the game, yo. If I'm selling drugs,
Um.
it's like watching
Oh
Hall.
no.
It's like watching Hall.
Carry.
Carrie
So
Hilson.
here's what happened. It wasn't B that did it. It was the Beehive that did it. So, and it was some shit that she actually did not want to fucking do.
Yeah.
I watched that interview.
I saw it. I'm
and I was
damn.
like, yo, that shit is crazy because she got pushed into something that it wasn't even her verse. It was somebody else wrote that shit and they forced her to sing it and then everybody backed away from her when the shit hit the fan. That was some real fucked up shit, but she actually spoke to B later on and kind of cleared the air on that.
Yeah, but by that time,
But by that shit, her career was over.
That's
She
coming
coming back
over.
right now. She coming back
I like
now.
Carrie
You know what I'm
Hilson.
saying? Yeah, I fuck some karaoke. Yeah, it's big dog, but sometimes even a big dog can fight dirty. You know what I'm saying? If you're a real big dog, you let your shit out there. You know what I'm saying? Diddy did that shit to Wendy Williams, and he thought he was gonna end the career, but he just started on a different career path, and she became bigger than the radio station. You know what I'm saying? She became bigger than radio.
I don't like Wendy Williams. She's a drama.
So was Joan Rivers, but you know
I'm not a Wendy. But listen, dog, I've never been.
You know what? I've never been a fan of Wendy either.
I've never been a fan of fucking over like putting people
when you start to look at the fact that
that's why I don't like Atlanta Housewives. Yo, I say
to
me, it's the
people,
perpetuation of ignorance.
If people didn't like it
bullshit sells. Bullshit sells.
Drama sells, yo. Drama sells.
I tell you,
you get two hot artists right now, and they go at each other on wax. And I'm not talking about all this beef in the street.
They don't know how to go each other with. They want murder.
No, they don't. But if you just go at each other on wax, KRS-One even said one of the hottest concerts that never happened was a versus between Biggie and Pac on stage. It would have been the largest selling concert ever. But anyway, we're gonna wrap up. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you tune in later on, you got a problem with anything that we said on the show, we can take it. Drop it in the comments. We'll talk back to you later on. We'll read them back on the air and we can talk to you. You can also, if you tune into the show later on, you can also tune in live. Your comments will get read. We'll pop them up on the screen. You debate, we can talk about things. But until next time, next Monday, you know what I'm saying? We're going to keep doing what we do. We're going to keep rocking with y'all. Hopefully, y'all keep rocking with us. Please do us a really big favor. If it's your first time tuning in, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. As soon as we go live, you go live with us. Until next time, no partner dog, too. Go be easy, folks.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Truth.